1:47 a.m. You're still awake, phone in hand. 3 to 7 videos deep into a feed you don't even remember opening. Tomorrow you have that thing you've been about to start for 6 months. You know, your thumb doesn't care. Here's something you're not going to like. You are not in control of that thumb. Not tonight. Not most nights. And it has nothing to do with how strong-willed you are. Your brain has 2 departments fighting for control of every decision you make. One wants the big life, the finished project, the version of you that people respect. The goal you've been carrying around in your head for years. The other wants zero discomfort. Right now, no matter what it costs you later. And every single time you open your phone, instead of doing the work, that second department wins a little more ground. Not because you're weak, because you keep feeding it one scroll at a time. Think about what a normal day actually looks like for you. You wake up, you tell yourself, today is the day. Then you check your phone for a second. An hour disappears and you don't feel it. Leave. You say you'll start after lunch. Lunch comes and goes. You say tonight, when you have more energy. Energy never shows up. It never does. For anyone, that's not what energy is for. At midnight, you're lying there, disappointed in yourself. Already writing tomorrow's promise like it's going to be different this time. And tomorrow, the exact same thing happens. If that loop sounds familiar, it's not because you're broken. It's because every scroll is a vote, and every vote trains your brain that avoiding the hard thing feels better than doing it. That's not a character flaw. That's basic conditioning. You've been unintentionally training yourself to quit for months, maybe years. The same way you'd train a dog, except the dog is you, and the treat is a phone screen. Now, here's the part nobody tells you. Perfectionism is not a high standard. It's fear wearing a nicer outfit. If you never start, you can never find out you're not as good as you hoped. So you wait for the perfect plan, the right mood, the ideal conditions. But conditions are never ideal. There's no version of Tuesday where you suddenly feel ready. The waiting isn't preparation. It's your nervous system protecting you from a scoreboard it's scared to face. You call it procrastination. It's just fear that learned a better name. And here's the part that actually stings. Your brain doesn't care about your goals. It never did. It cares about your survival, and it genuinely cannot tell the difference between this project might fail. That noise in the dark might kill me. Both trigger the same alarm. Both get the same avoidance response. You're not fighting laziness. You're fighting a smoke detector that goes off every time you try to cook. Failure isn't your enemy. Doing nothing is fail, and you learn something real about what doesn't work. Do nothing, and you stay exactly where you are, just more tired, more ashamed, and one day older. Every person you admire has failed more times than you've even attempted something. The only difference is they kept one rule. One bad day never gets to become a bad month. So how do you actually break this? Not 8 vague ideas. 3 concrete moves. 1. Shrink the action until it's stupidly small. Not build a business. 10 minutes. 1 paragraph. 1 phone call. Small enough that your brain can't build a resistance case against it. Here's why this works. Your brain isn't rejecting the goal. It's rejecting the size of it. A goal that feels like climbing a mountain gets vetoed instantly, before you're even conscious of the decision. A goal that feels like taking 1 step doesn't trigger the alarm at all. String enough of those steps together and you've climbed the mountain without your brain ever noticing. It agreed to redesign your environment instead of relying on willpower. Willpower is a battery. It drains by 3 p.m. no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much you want this. Your setup doesn't drain. Phone in another room, not just face down on the desk. Face down still buzzes, and your hand still knows it's there. 1 tab open, not 15. A specific block of time that you protect like it's a meeting with someone important. Because it is. It's a meeting with the version of you that you keep promising to become. And you've stood that person up more times than you'd admit out loud. People who seem more disciplined than you usually aren't. They've just removed more decisions. Every temptation you don't have to resist is energy you get to keep for the thing that actually matters. 3. Stop consuming. Start executing. Every how to be productive video you watch feels like progress. It isn't a costume for avoidance, and it's a comfortable one. Because learning feels responsible while doing feels risky. You already know what to do. You knew it before this video started. Watching content about your goals is not the same as moving toward them. It just feels close enough that your brain stops complaining. This is the last piece of research you're allowed today. After this ends, you act even badly, even for 10 minutes. And you will fail at this sometimes. You'll skip a day. You'll open the app you swore you'd avoid, at exactly the moment you swore you wouldn't. That's not the end of anything. That's just data. The people who actually change aren't the ones who never fall off. They're the ones who don't let a missed day turn into a missed month, and who don't burn the next morning punishing themselves for the one before. Guilt doesn't build discipline. It just makes tomorrow's excuse easier to find. If you spend tonight hating yourself for today, you're not preparing for tomorrow, you're just rehearsing the same failure with extra steps. Talk to yourself the way you'd talk to someone you actually wanted to succeed. You're not lazy. Lazy is something you did on some days, for some reasons. It is not something you are, and things you did can be undone by things you do next, starting with the next 10 minutes. Not next Monday, not when things calm down, because things are not going to calm down, they never have before. So right now, before you close this, before you open another app, pick 1 task. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Go. If you're actually going to do it, type starting now in the comments. Not for me, for you.